Step 3, Oratio. This is the prayer piece. This is the same place where OREMUS comes from, to pray. And this is where we want to talk to God and talk with God about everything. Our theology tells us that God is active and alive. He is real, and He's really present in our life. I often laugh that with the whole WWJD thing. What would Jesus do? As if, Jesus is dead and He's not real. I wonder what Jesus would do. Okay, no offense to anybody. That's a heresy. That thought, that belief that He's dead, He's not alive. I have to wonder and speculate. He is active and alive. And He's in all of our lives. Paul says to Timothy, he says, the Word of God is active and alive. It is like it's like a scalpel that opens a heart and is useful for almost everything in life. Like God's real. So to talk with Him as if God's real. Look what the Catechism says in 2709. It says, what is contemplative prayer? St. Teresa of Avila answers, contemplative prayer, in my opinion, is nothing else than a close sharing between friends. In this inner prayer we can still meditate, but our attention is fixed on the Lord Himself. Like the beauty of, did you catch the shift there? She says, at this stage of the prayer, step 2, meditatio, I'm thinking about me and my life. What happens in step 3? I stop thinking about me and I begin and now my heart's open to God. And there's this back and forth. So I'm praying and I'm honest with God. I say, God, I'm disappointed with that response. I need help. I am begging you, just to show me that you're with me in my life. And the Lord led me back here as I was saying this to God. I waited and I said, God, I want you to speak to me. And He says to me the very next line. He says, for just as from the heavens the rain and snow come down and do not return there till they have watered the earth, making it fertile and fruitful, giving seed to him who sows and bread to him who eats, so shall my word be that comes forth from my mouth. It shall not return to me void, but it shall do my will, achieving the end for which I sent it. So step 3, I'm talking to God, and then I listen. Like, God, what's God going to say? Well, how does God speak? God's voice doesn't often sound like a booming voice from heaven. We'll get into those details and a lot more refinement later on, but like God's already spoken in His Word. So when I shared my heart with God, He shared His heart with me, and this is what He said. He says, Mark, He says, He had told me previously in some other conversations that He was going to make a way where I didn't see a way, and He was going to open up something for me. And I was getting frustrated with the timing of all that. And what He said to me in response, He says, Mark, when I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm coming through on my word. And that's not just some little pep talk here. The Word of God says that. It says that when God says He's going to do something, it's like the rain that comes down from heaven. It's going to hit the earth. It doesn't stop and go back up to heaven. It will achieve the end for which it was spoken. So I received that from God. I was like, okay. And what I recognized was that there was just a sense of gratitude for being heard, a sense of hope that at least He had something in store, and there was a sense of trust that, okay, maybe I can just do it one more day. To have a conversation with God. I spoke to God and I listened to what He wanted to say in return to me.